Was war das größte Sportevent, das ihr euch je angeschaut habt? Especially natürlich Volleyball. Bei mir war es in der Allianz Arena Fußballspiel von Bayern München, über 60.000 Leute natürlich. Beim Volleyball wahrscheinlich ein Spiel im BMW-Park von Hersching. Letztes Jahr kommen wir da so in den Kopf gegen Friedrichshafen, Pokal, beziehungsweise Playoffs natürlich. Und ich war Anfang dieses Jahres im April in den USA, da waren auch ungefähr 1500 bis 2000 Zuschauer beim Spiel im Big West Tournament von UCLA gegen UC Irvine, aber es gab vor kurzem ein viel, viel krasseres und da ist seit kurzem eine Doku drüber draus. 92.003 Zuschauer haben in Nebraska ein Volleyballspiel verfolgt und zwar im Footballstadion des Colleges. Und ich will gar nicht länger drum rumreden. Wir werden uns das heute gemeinsam anschauen, denn ich habe da richtig Bock drauf, mir das reinzuziehen, weil ich dieses Event einfach so feiere, weil es ein riesen Sportevent ist. Es ist das größte Sportevent mit am meisten Zuschauern für Frauensport jemals. Volleyball ziemlich sicher auch, würde ich sagen, bei 92.000 Zuschauern. Lass uns gleich reinschauen. Ganz kurz, das hier war das davor, wo er drüber redet, 99, Frauen, USA, Finale.
Pivotal moment for women's sports. I think this, was the next great moment for women's sports, and the fact that it was volleyball, and again, I keep coming back to it's Lincoln, Nebraska. We always talk about we're the epicenter, and again, we say we have the greatest fans. We do, and volleyball is a state treasure here, and the fact that we were able to pull this off, it just proves all that.
The impossible is possible. There's no place like Nebraska.
We can do some amazing things together, and our team did that. And I'll tell you this, we've got as talented people in the athletic department at the University of Nebraska across the board as anybody in the country. Nobody does what we do.
When Wisconsin broke our attendance record, we said, hey, we got to get it back.
A record crowd of almost 16,000 got to watch Nebraska and Creighton play in a 5-set thriller. On Friday.
Ich schau mal schnell, ob ich hier Untertitel auf Deutsch anmachen kann. Ne, gibt's leider nicht.
You can top Nebraska again. The Huskers just set the regular season record for largest crowd 9 days ago.
So Trev and I met, and we looked at PBA. There was no way we could get enough people in PBA to break the record.
So my next question was, well, what do we have to do? We got to play at CHI? Do we have to play at Pinnacle? And they said, no, unfortunately, we don't have a venue that's large enough to be able to break the record, so they're going to hold it. And I said, well, actually, we do have a venue.
Das Footballstadion, richtig.
Let's go do a stadium match. I'm like, yeah, right. And walked out thinking, yeah, right.
That was kind of a flippant comment, a bit of a joke, never really. And then, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, what if we did try to do that?
Between Trev and John in the room together, the idea came from that room. I think just John knowing that the record was out there and Trev behind it all the way is what maybe gave the final push to get us to where we were actually wheels turning and we're going to make this event happen.
Breaking news in the volleyball world.
Nebraska Volleyball's match in Memorial Stadium.
Volleyball Day in Nebraska. How awesome is that?
And next thing you know, we're rolling on it, and they've got a plan how to do it.
I think for all of us in the park.
Stellt euch mal vor, ihr spielt, klar, die Volleyballteam Nebraska ist riesig, die haben, keine Ahnung, wahrscheinlich 2000 bis 3000 Zuschauer immer in der Halle oder noch mehr, weiß ich jetzt nicht auswendig, aber stellt euch mal vor, ihr spielt da und dann sagen die es euch an und sagen euch einfach, hey, ihr spielt jetzt von 92.000 Leuten euer nächstes Spiel oder das und das Spiel.
Like,
krass
okay,
das denn?
This is real, and now we got to get to business, making sure that the presentation is at an elite level.
48 Stunden vor
I
Spielbeginn.
started believing like we might be able to do this. But to be honest with you, when the tickets went on sale and I heard the system crashed and they're saying like, oh wow, we might get to 60 to 80, and I was just thinking, oh, this is like fake Twitter news, like they do those fake things on Twitter. I'm thinking, okay, this is like somebody's messing around here. That's what really was my first thought. Like, there's no way. And then here we go.
Stimmt, man muss ja erstmal 92.000 Leute in dieses Stadion bekommen, die halt sich ein Volleyballspiel anschauen wollen. Also klar, von dem College, da kommen einfach viele, die das College cool finden, das College unterstützen, aber 92.000 ist halt schon ultra viel.
If we had 30,000 people, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, when was the last time 30,000 people watched a volleyball game?
To hear that we're going to be playing in the football field and we could potentially sell it out, I was like, this is insane.
I think probably initially when it was first announced, a lot
So, ich mach mal ganz kurz hier, sorry, das hier rüber.
of people are like, yeah.
Weil dann seht ihr nämlich hier unten die Namen immer.
It's on a Wednesday night. People from western Nebraska can't come in the middle of the week, so I thought they're kind of hurting their chances. But they'll still sell, 30 or 40,000 tickets. Maybe was my guess.
Gotta set the alarm, make sure we get the tickets.
Wirklich?
Get Best Mom Award.
And then the day the tickets went on sale, and they sold out in like an hour and a half, I think, of the first bunch. And so it was just really exciting to see the support that came forward.
The Huskers website shows no more seats are open on its interactive map. This came less than 24 hours after they became available yesterday.
What?
I think if anybody knows Nebraska, they know that you guys.
Das doch. Muss nach oben tun? Nee, ich lasse hier unten. Dann lese ich euch vor, wenn ihr es nicht seht.
Do sellouts, and because of that, we knew that not only was it going to be a sellout, but the stands would be full. Like, not just the tickets bought and whatever. Like, bodies were going to be in seats, and that meant a completely different story.
In case anybody needed a reminder who has the best fans in all of college sports, Volleyball Day in Nebraska is officially sold out.
When the sellout was announced, I think that caught more people's attention.
I really think that people just thought, well, even if I don't watch volleyball on the regular, this is...
Ja, wir waren 48 Stunden, 82.000 Tickets verkauft. Boah.
Gonna be special and I want to be there for it.
The record for a volleyball game belongs in the state of Nebraska.
The day before the event, Kennedy wrote a card to everybody on the team and with a rose. So that night I read it when I got home and got really emotional reading it. And then we had the pep rally, and I was going to read the whole card to the whole pep rally in the Coliseum, but I couldn't do it.
Oh my goodness, he was an emotional wreck. He was in full grandpa mode. There's multiple sides to everyone, but Coach has two very significant ones. He's either coach or grandpa. And that day, as much as he wanted to be coach, like, we need to focus on UNO. Okay, we got to clean up passing, we got to clean up serving, we need to thump it. I don't care about the win, I don't care about this. When he saw what was going on and how much this program means to us and the fan base, like, he was taking it all in just as much as we were.
Das ist krass, ey.
Being on that stage and how they handled it, how they handled the pep rally, interacting with those kids, and that was a long day for us. They sensed the moment being a role model and how many young girls they were going to impact.
The one that looked just like me, her name was Nevaeh, so they brought her out, and I could notice like she had some emotions, and she was obviously wearing my jersey, so I was like, oh, this is so cool. She gets on the mic and just starts breaking down, and then I heard my name. She's like, I need Becca Alec. And so without hesitation, I ran over. Hey, big girl. I just knew that I needed to be there for her, and having someone break down over me, it made me realize that like what I do and what I stand for and how I play, it's a lot more than what I think it is. It's not just me showing up for practice, and it's not just me playing hard. Like, I'm representing somebody. I constantly told myself, I'm like, okay, if I don't see anybody that looks like me in my position, I'm gonna be the first. And so when I saw her dressed like me, looked like me, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Das ist ein richtig krasses Event da, alles drumherum. Das ist Fan Meet and Greet für ein Spiel. Ich weiß nicht, ob das immer so ist, aber es ist ja ultra krass. Boah.
I think everyone knows that this would not be possible without each and every one of you, and there's a reason that there's no place like Nebraska, and that we have the best fan base in the nation, in the world.
Also wenn ich mir das anschaue, dann sagt jeder Verein, sie haben die besten Fans. Sagt jeder Verein, sie haben die besten Fans, aber also das ist schon ultra krass.
We hope to hear you nice and loud tonight at Memorial Stadium. Go Big Red!
Krass, ich bin sprachlos. Das ist ja ultra krass.
At first they did picture fill the place, but quickly they did, and as they filled it up, boy, that became quite the event.
And I tell you what, this is great for the sport of volleyball, great for women's sports in general. I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Ja.
This will be remembered for a long time.
Absolut. Krass.
One thing going into this game we talked to John Cook about was he was really happy to see high school students and middle school students, club athletes, be able to go to a game, because a lot of times at Devaney they can't get in or can't get tickets because it's the hottest ticket in Lincoln.
There's no distance too far for Husker fans when it comes to witnessing history.
Teams across the metro have canceled practice and loaded up buses to head down to Lincoln.
They know these players. They've played with them. They've watched them. They've been mentored by them. And to get to see them on this big stage, it only gives them confidence to be able to do the exact same thing.
We had so many subs that day because teachers were leaving to go and enjoy the game. And in history class, we talked about the history of Nebraska volleyball. And it was really just a citywide event.
Das ist auch krass, dass einfach Lehrer, also ich find's geil, dass sie es dürfen, aber eigentlich ist ein Kündigungsgrund. Das finde ich geil, dass sie da hingegangen sind, auch als Lehrer sagen, hey, ihr habt heute keinen Unterricht, geht zum Spiel. Boah, wie riesig ist das denn? Und es wird da unten auch noch gefüllt, hier, wenn ich das anschaue. Und dann hier in der Seite, warum ist das denn so seitlich? Da ist, die braucht halt noch so eine Tribüne wahrscheinlich zum Einlaufen oder für einen Show-Act oder so. Krass. So Leute, jetzt geht's gleich los.
I wonder all the time, like, why us? Like, why do I, born at this time, graduated this day, made all of these decisions that led me to this exact point.
Man muss sich halt fragen, warum nicht? Warum nicht sie?
Where I am now walking out, where a bunch of great football players have walked, and I'm gonna run out to 92,000 people.
I was just happy to be a part of it and getting to lead our team out there on the tunnel walk.
Krass. Alter.
I think the national anthem and the flyover really got a lot of people.
Das ist so krass in den USA, wie, also sieht man ja bei vielen Footballspielen auch, wie, das ist einfach ein Muss. Also Nationalhymne natürlich, okay, verstehe ich. Aber das Flyover mit Militärjets oder dem Bombergrad oder was auch immer, teilweise auch mit Fallschirmspringer, die da runterspringen ins Stadion dann rein. Es ist so krass, dass die das halt bei jedem Spiel quasi machen, dass es so natürlich für die ist. Absolut krass.
Greetings, Nebraska, and welcome inside
Quick attack, Andy Jackson, kaboom! 21-10 big run. The two balls out there tonight. That's a shuttle jump for the line. 10 for Nebraska. There it is. Right from there, decent block shot covered. And now the Huskies. Straight left, attack there by Crosby. And he's on the board, Nebraska's got a 14 lead. Put up the offense. Bump set by Libero to the right front. Baby hit, Amanda Hart. She's out right back at Allen.
Ich verstehe mal noch nicht, vielleicht kann mir das mal jemand erklären. Diese Knieschoner. Was bringen die? Also, warum sind die da unten? Warum trägt man dann überhaupt Knieschoner? Das bringt doch also gar nichts. Das ist halt, also ich verstehe, wenn man sie irgendwo hier trägt oder so, weil auf dem oberen Teil rutscht man nicht. Aber hier unten, ne? Da rutscht man. Also ich check das nicht, warum die so weit unten sind. So, jetzt Halbzeitshow.
91,648 is the magic number. We'll find out momentarily.
Nebraska is now a world record holder.
That roar is because we're going to get our answer on what the attendance is. World record achieved. 92,003 people going through the turnstiles, having a ticket scanned here tonight.
Krass.
This was sold out in 48 hours, this event. We thought there was a pretty good chance. Now we know it. What a moment for women's sports, this sport, and for this state, for this program in Nebraska.
Guys, thank you. As we say, we have the best fans in the country. You guys proved it.
Once the game ended and I took my IFB out and, you know, ripped my headset off, I remember hugging Connor and just saying, we're a part of history. This is the coolest thing that I probably will ever cover.
It's a record setter in Nebraska. It's a record setter for women's sports.
I haven't seen something like that in a long time.
Talk about big red indeed. It was just a sea of red.
And a big record for women's sports attendance.
It's not a Taylor Swift concert with Beyonce. That was the girls' volleyball team.
History in the heartland. Something very, very special happened at the University of Nebraska last night.
In a sea of red, they cheered by the tens of thousands.
The largest attendance for a women's sports event in history just took place in Lincoln, Nebraska.
92,003. That is the record-breaking number of
92,003 people there to see it at Memorial Stadium, to see Volleyball Day, one of the best programs in the world.
More than 92,000 people filled Memorial Stadium.
It's not every day that a college volleyball game needs to upgrade its venue to a football stadium.
And you got to give credit where credit is due.
I remember the games in the Coliseum, and to think that they, sold out at Memorial Stadium. Absolutely amazing.
You look at women's volleyball, 92,000 people showed up at a women's volleyball game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what did it feel like to play in front of more than 90,000 people?
I think the whole day was it was super emotional for all of us.
Nothing's ever going to live up to this event because of how big it was and how big of a celebration of our sport that it was. You can do it again, but it's never going to replicate the same feel that we had on August 30th.
Just a lot of gratitude. Like I've said this before.
War doch gerade schon Nummer 4 Making History. Haben sie eins übersprungen? Nicht übersprungen, wiederholt.
I feel like this event really showed people there really is no place like Nebraska. People say it all the time, and I'm lucky enough to have had experiences playing in a lot of other places, and I 100% believe there is no place like Nebraska, and putting on an event like this and having the fan support like this, I feel like really confirms that and just it shows the world there really is no place like Nebraska. So it's something I'll always be proud to have been a part of.
Das stimmt halt wirklich. Also, das habe ich schon gesagt, jeder Verein sagt, hey, unsere Fans sind die Besten. Aber 92.003 Leute in ein Stadion, es waren nicht die Tickets, die verkauft wurden, das waren wirklich 92.003 Leute, die ihre Tickets dort am Tag eingelöst haben. Im Stadion. Das ist absolut krass. Dieser Fansupport.
The alumni was so incredibly gracious to have the opportunity to be back for it, but also to reminisce about where the program had come from.
We were able to hear from people from different decades who just had completely different experiences as to what volleyball was when they were playing here.
They were the foundation to help get that team out on a court in Memorial Stadium and with 92,000 fans. And I really hope they walked away feeling a part of that and really feeling that this is a family, and we wouldn't be where we were today and this event wouldn't happen without the alumni. When you look at the records that we surpassed, when you think of World Cup soccer and you think of the world stage and soccer, the impact it has across the world, and then you put a collegiate volleyball match up against that and we're able to beat that record, I think that's krass. One reason it grabbed so much attention across the world.
Nein, jetzt ist wieder, also haben sie nur zweimal das 4. genommen. Das ist echt krass. Also, was sie gerade gesagt hat, was man sich vor Augen führen muss, ist, dass die davor, die Weltrekorde, waren halt spanische Liga, ich glaube Barcelona, also Frauen, Barcelona gegen irgendein Team. Und 1999 das Damen-Fußball-Weltmeisterschaftsfinale, USA gegen China, glaube ich, war das. USA gewonnen hat. Und da waren auch über 90.000, ein bisschen über 90.000 da. Und das ist einfach ein College. Das ist College-Volleyball. Die Mädels, das sind keine Vollprofis, die verdienen keinen Cent, die dürfen keinen Cent verdienen, weil es eben College ist, NCAA-Guidelines. Und die spielen einfach vor 92.000, gut, im Football ist es normal, im College-Football, aber für Volleyball, College, ist es halt absolut krass. Und es ist Männer-Football natürlich. Da ist es gang und gäbe, aber für Damen-College-Volleyball, allgemein für Damensport, ist es absolut krass, aber auch schon für Volleyball ist es absolut krass. Das ist einfach ein Riesending für Volleyball allgemein und für den Frauensport. Krass.
But we were selling out most matches. We started the sellout streak my last year. But we heard from people who played 20 years before me who they would try to get football fans to come in after a football game. They'd be like, show your ticket stub, and I think, I don't know, you got popcorn and something for $1 if you'd come support the volleyball team. And they would set up the chairs before the match themselves. And I mean, it's been a very long journey, I think, of women dedicating themselves and being willing to sacrifice to play a sport that we all loved, to get to the point where our team can go down there and they can play in front of 92,000 fans. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I would definitely say after feeling that or seeing that atmosphere, sky's the limit. You know, as a girl, you know, growing up and seeing that, and you're like, wow, I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, and this is what's happening here. We're setting world records, and this stadium is full of people for women playing volleyball. So I would definitely say the sky's the limit, and yeah, dream big, go for it.
Was there risk? Sure. And I'd had to stand up and say, I'm sorry, we tried, but look at the reward. Just go make it happen.
We were dreaming big to put the
Aber so viel, ich weiß nicht, wie viel Risiko da wirklich war, aber ganz ehrlich, wenn da 30.000 Leute kommen, okay, das ist, also natürlich können einfach 1.000 kommen und dann ist das Stadion halt komplett, also es ist wahrscheinlich, ja, das ist ja dann schon ein bisschen peinlich, aber wenn 30.000 Leute kommen, ist trotzdem wahrscheinlich Volleyball-Attendance-Record. Ich habe jetzt nicht genau im Kopf, wie viel da der Rekord ist. Ich weiß, dass Weltmeisterschaft Männer, glaube ich, damals in Polen, dass die auch in Fußballstadien gespielt haben, aber halt nur irgendwie halbseitig das oder nicht alle Ränge verkauft haben. Das heißt, da werden auch nicht so viele gewesen sein. Fußballstadien in Europa sind nichts im Vergleich zu den Footballstadien in Amerika, zu den College-Stadien. Kann sein, dass es 30.000, dass weniger als 30.000 waren. Wahrscheinlich, wenn es 30.000 wäre, es auch schon voller Erfolg, aber diese 92.000 sind immer noch absolut krank.
But we also, they're was maybe a little fear behind it, but we had to be fearless and go ahead and go for it. You have to be willing to take a risk on a big stage, and that's exactly what our program did on Wednesday night, and I think our team walked away with the confidence now to go into this season and be more willing to put that on the court.
I think her comments will forever
Vor allem, das war irgendein Spiel. Also es war einfach ein Regular Season Spiel. Es war nicht irgendein Finale, es war irgendein Spiel.
resonate with me. She's one of my #1 hype men, my twin sister Hannah, and how you wanted a name for yourself and you wanted to be a part of something big, like you're doing it. And she posted, she's like, you're living out the dream.
Tonight, the impossible will become possible. And when I still say that, I feel this emotion. We did the impossible.
Soaking it all in, Coach?
Huh?
Are you soaking it all in?
Yeah, we've dreamed big here tonight. We really dreamed big. And again, I think Kennedy Orr wrote me a note today and said, Coach, tonight we'll do the impossible will be possible. We did it.
Absolut krass. Absolut krass. That's it. Also ich weiß wirklich nicht, was ich sagen soll. Das war ein riesen krasses Sportevent. Also bei sowas mal dabei zu sein, also sowas wäre schon richtig krass. Ich meine, wenn man sich überlegt, in so einer Sporthalle, wenn da 2000 Leute sind, wie laut es schon ist, in so einem Fußballstadion, jetzt Allianz Arena, gut, da ist es jetzt nicht so laut, aber wenn man sich Dortmund anschaut beispielsweise oder irgendwelche Stadien in Spanien, wie das explodiert und dann hier 92.000 Leute vor 92.000 Leuten Volleyball spielen. Also ich meine, die hat schon recht Once in a Lifetime Experience natürlich, das ist ultra krass. Ich weiß nicht mehr, was ich dazu sagen soll. Ich bedanke mich auf jeden Fall für jeden, der das sich anschaut. Schreibt mal bitte in die Kommentare, was euer größter Zuschauerrekord war bei einem Event, wo ihr selber gespielt habt oder wo ihr nur da wart. Am besten natürlich Volleyball. Würde mich ultra interessieren. Und dann hoffe ich, sehen wir uns beim nächsten Video. Bis dann. Ciao.